Here we go then, a video I've been wanting to put together for a very long time, and I can do it on other things too, like the Ahsoka series, Kenobi series, etc, etc. 10 plus characters I think will appear in the Book of Boba Fett. Let's go. So far there has been a few but very little leaks and speculation on characters that will be in the Book of Boba Fett, so I'm sure this list will potentially change nearer to the time it releases, but let's get straight into it with number 1, Din Djarin. This series is set to take place between season 2 and 3 of Mando, so it is very likely that we at least get a little bit of Din Djarin to give context to where he will be at the start of season 3, and this is one of the characters that has been speculated that we will see in the Book of Boba Fett, so I think Mando is very likely to be in this series. Now, what we actually see him do is a different question. I think it's likely he goes back to bounty hunting for a little bit because that's the only thing he knows, and then he potentially realises that it's maybe not for him, and then he leaves Boba and goes to meet up with Bo-Katan or someone and decides that he actually wants to lead Mandalore or something like that. But anyway, the most likely one in my opinion is here, number 2, Fennec Shand. She obviously is kind of working with Boba Fett as Boba saved her life, so this is her way of repaying him for that. I don't really know what she's going to do in this series because she's pretty much going to do exactly what Boba does as she's working alongside with him, so whatever the arc of Boba Fett is in this series, she will be right alongside him, and I'm sure she'll be great, to be honest. She is a really good character, but yeah, I definitely think she will be in the Book of Boba Fett, and I can't wait to see her in action fighting alongside Boba, a sniper, and someone as good as Boba. Yep, that is amazing. Now, the third character is Greef Karga, one of my favourite characters from The Mandalorian, and if you think about it, this is actually very likely. Boba Fett obviously being an ex-bounty hunter, and Greef Karga is the leader of the bounty hunter guild. It's very likely they either cross paths, they do a bit of business or something like that. Greef Karga is definitely someone I could see in the Book of Boba Fett, and I would honestly love to see it as well, especially if it's an episode where Mando is in it as well. Those three together would be incredible. I would suspect that Boba would go to Greef for some information on certain people that Boba wants to go after, that maybe worked with the Bounty Hunter Guild, so he would expect Greef Karga to know about them. But character number 4 is Cad Bane. Now, he is not dead in canon. That episode of the Clone Wars was not canonized because it was not published, so I believe that Disney will actually take advantage of this. I used to think that they shouldn't do this because most people have accepted that Bane died to Boba in that episode. However, I think it would be a big missed opportunity to not have Cad Bane show up again somewhere, and the Book of Boba Fett would be a great place to do it. He would actually be really old, so I'm not so sure if they would have a fight, and if so, Boba would absolutely destroy him, but it would be cool to see what Bane does in his older years. Is he like some wise old man, or is he just an old man that's still evil and tries to kill Boba? I don't know. Now, speaking of bounty hunters, I have done for character number 6 just any other bounty hunter because there is too many to speak of. We could see Dengar, we could see Bosk, we could see IG-88, we could see Snuva, who is the Wookiee bounty hunter, and if I'm being honest, I think he is the most likely, as we've seen him in this comic here, work with Boba, and because of another potential character that is a Wookiee that I'm going to talk about in a bit, and you might be able to guess who they are, but yeah, I think it's very likely we see at least one of these bounty hunters, but the chances are we will see more than at least one of Embo, Bosk, Dengar, Snuva, G-88, etc. Now, character number 7 is Han Solo. Now, obviously, Boba is the one that captured Han in The Empire Strikes Back. for Jabba the Hutt. So, what would Boba Fett do if he saw Han in the Book of Boba Fett? Because Jabba is dead. I think this one is very likely, as we already have an actor for younger Han Solo, as obviously Harrison Ford is rather old now. So, I think with all the interactions Boba and Han have in comics and that, I think it's very, very likely we see them interact again in live action. And who comes with Han Solo? Who did I lead or hint to earlier in this video? Chewbacca. Yep, obviously Chewbacca would be with Han, and I think it would be very cool to see how Chewie in particular reacts to seeing Boba, as obviously Boba is the one responsible for putting his friend Han in carbonite. I think just that whole interaction would be amazing, and to be honest, I wouldn't want it to be a fight. I'd want that conversation, to be honest, with Boba, like telling them, no, I'm not trying to kill you anymore. Like I've changed. Jabba's dead. I'm not working for him. There's no reason for me to just kill you. I really want to see that. Now, another character I've not really heard anyone talk about for potential in the Book of Boba Fett is Lando Calrissian. Obviously, he was in the Rebellion through the original trilogy, well, part of 5 and all of 6, and how does he get to where he is in Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker? We don't know. Lando obviously has a series coming up, but we don't know when that is going to be based. If it is not after Episode 6, I would definitely expect him to be in the Book of Boba Fett. Just to fill in like what he's actually doing. Maybe it's just like a little cameo, we just see him briefly, and he just explains what he's doing at the moment. But yeah, I do think we need to see what he's actually up to. And obviously, he's interacted with Boba before, not on the best terms, so again, it would be interesting to see how that conversation would go, same as Han and Chewie with Boba. And obviously, he has a younger actor already, so it wouldn't be very hard to recast him. Okay, so 10 is the Hutt family. We haven't really seen any other members of the Hutt family than Jabba and Gardulla in The Phantom Menace. In live action, we've seen Zero and like a couple of others, well, most of the others in the Clone Wars, but obviously Zero's dead now. And as Boba is an ex-bounty hunter and did work with the Hutts, or for the Hutts, I think it's highly likely that he either seeks out to work with or to wipe out the rest of the Hutt family. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing this, and I think this is one of the more likely ones. Now, Migs Mayfeld is a character that probably no longer fits in the story of the Mandalorian Din Djarin, but is a very, very well written character so far in that era between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. So, where else could he go? Rangers of the New Republic and the Book of Boba Fett. I think he'd go in either or, and maybe not a huge part in this series, but I could definitely see him in the Book of Boba Fett, as he is kind of like a scoundrel, like would be maybe looking for some work as well to do some stuff. Like, I don't know where he'd fit in exactly, but I could see him. Now 12, the former owner of Boba Fett's armor before he got it back after losing it originally, Cobb Vanth. I could definitely see him in this series. Again, another character I don't really know where he fits in, but it just makes sense to see them interact in some kind of way. Like, this is the guy that had Boba's armor all that time between Return of the Jedi and The Mandalorian Season 2. So yeah, I really don't know where Cobb Vanth could fit in, because he is just like the warden of a town, Mos Espa on Tatooine, but it's definitely likely that Boba Fett goes to see him at some point. So, with that being said, that is 10 plus characters I could see appearing in the Book of Boba Fett. Let me know what you thought. Let me know who your favourite, or who you want to appear the most out of all of these. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if I missed anyone that you think will appear in the Book of Boba Fett. Let me know any other series you want me to do for this. I'm definitely going to do the Kenobi series at least. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for 4,000 subscribers. Let's get to 5k. That's what I've been pushing for a while now. And what you don't understand is, at the start of this year, when my YouTube was really small, I wanted to get 500 by the end of this year. And the fact that I'm set to get 5k like around the middle of this year, literally 10 times what I wanted by the end, is crazy to me. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe, comment, And thanks for watching, and in a bit.